someone who fits into the theme of legacy this year that is going to be driving all of our characters, quite frankly, including the big bad. So he's pretty badass in me.
Nice, I like that. Obviously, Oliver is thinking a lot about his legacy. He's forming a new team, something that Laurel really inspired him to do. Wendy, why was that such a great idea to sort of frame the beginning, at least, of the season around?
Well, I think we really wanted to honor what we've done last season, and obviously with Laurel being gone, it's incredibly important for Oliver and the rest of the team to move forward, remembering that legacy and honoring it.
Absolutely. I know I speak for the fans when I say that we miss Katie Cassidy all the time. She is incredible. We may see her again.
Well, we will definitely see her in 501 in our premiere of the season, and we have made a deal with her across Arrow, Flash, and Legends, so Katie Cassidy is definitely not gone from this universe.
At the end of last season, Felicity said to Oliver, you know, you're at war with these two sides of yourself. He had really sort of done a lot of things that made him question himself. What excites you about going into this new year sort of with this version of Oliver?
Syndication. Syndication. No, I'm very excited because, you know, there was this one extreme of Oliver that we saw in season 1, and then a very reactionary version of Oliver that we saw in season 2 after the death of Tommy. And what we see now with Oliver is, we see an Oliver that understands that it's not just black and white, that there are shades of gray, and he's really back to the mission of, first and foremost, the most important thing in my life is honoring what my father asked me to do, is protecting Star City. And I feel like that has, I've been saying all day today, this certainly, I don't think is the last year of the show, but it's definitely the end of a chapter, and that is, this was conceived as a 5-year journey. So both Oliver in the present and in the flashbacks, I feel like if we do this year right, we will have the ability to then start it now.
Cool. Yeah. I like that. I mean, speaking of syndication, you guys will hit the 100th episode this year, which is huge and very what kind of conversations have you guys in the writers' room been having about what to do with that 100th episode?
Well, you know, it's interesting. Our 100th episode is 508. Turns out 508 will be chapter 2 of our 3-part crossover. So the 100th episode is going to be the middle part of the crossover, and then episode 9 is our mid-season finale. So we're kind of designing things to be like a 2-episode, 100th-episode celebration, the bigness of our mega crossover and the bigness of our mid-season finale. So it's actually timed kind of perfectly.
Nice. I like that. Emily, first of all, happy early birthday. You're on. It was a really eventful season for Felicity last year. She got shot, she battled her alter ego god self, she defeated a bee robot person.
She lost her friend.
Yes, all of those things. What excites you about the version of Felicity you get to bring into this new year?
I'm excited for her story this year. The girl's going to be dealing with a lot of bottled up emotions, unfortunately. She's going to work through them. I think we're going to do it quite honestly. Honestly, as a selfish point, I always like to play the comedy and those sort of things, but I don't think that would be totally if I just asked for playing that respectful of her journey coming out, because she's holding on to this guilt of killing 10,000 people in the last year of 2 equals. So yeah, she's going to be dealing with that and hopefully doing it with a smile, but I bet you when she's alone, she's got some private tears going down.
Understandable. I mean, speaking of Paul, you know, Quentin went through a really huge loss last year. You know, he not only lost his daughter, but he lost his job. I mean, he left with the love of his life from Matt. What could possibly bring him back to this town?
I have no idea. I mean, God, it's becoming a habit losing a daughter. Three times now. Yeah, it's pretty rough. Where do you guys write this stuff for this guy? Give him a break. At least he got laid last season. That was nice. That really was a shining light, wasn't it? That makes the grief and good knows what. But what are these guys muttering down the panel here? season 5, having said all that. Some old demons haunting him, and yeah, trying to pick up the pieces of lost family, his guilt, and everything that's involved with that, with Laurel, and no job. I think somebody said when he picked up you and your dad that time in the car, somebody said, "Oh, Lance lost his job. He's an Uber driver." And I think that's the future for Lance this season. Whether you guys ever see it, my backstory is he's an Uber driver.
The paradox changed you into a Uber driver.
I hate to break it to Paul, it's left.
It's lit. But you moonlight doing Postmates.
Just help him however he can, just like that. David, I'm curious, Diggle also left town at the end of the season. There's really a lot of stuff weighing on him. And we heard in the previous panel that Diggle is sort of the one who's going to be affected by the flashpoint that happened on.
Did you hear that?
I mean, we all heard it. You guys heard it, right? I'm just relaying information.
Yeah.
I mean, what can you tell us about Diggle at the start of season 5?
He's in Chechnya, and he's an Uber driver. Anyway, no, he's not in Chechnya. He's in Chechnya. He's with the special forces handling some business over there. He's still a man of two minds to a great degree. He misses the team, but he's still dealing with the tragic death of Black Canary, who he obviously he blamed himself for that. And why he pulled the trigger, killing his brother. He's still dealing with that. And we deal with that in a very, very visceral way. There's a very great scene we just shot with Diggle and how he deals with the death of his brother and his involvement with that. So he's very much at the beginning of the season a man of two minds. He's still conflicted about the events of season 5.
Cool. I like that. Well, Echo, I would like to say welcome to the family.
Thank you.
I almost said terrific. I actually organically said terrific, and that would have been the we watched you in that trailer tackle the salmon line.
Try to tackle the salmon line.
I mean, is that okay? So how much of what we see in that is genuine effort, and how much of it is just for this? Because it was what scripted that he wasn't supposed to be good at.
No, that thing is super hard. Kudos to Steven for knocking it out nonstop. But yeah, I think Curtis is just really influenced by Green Arrow. He really looks up to him, and he really wants to get out there and help start something. And it's a struggle, and I think that's a lot of a struggle.
And Mark, we're going to get a lot of his backstory this year, right? We're going to get an origin story. We're going to find out a lot more about Curtis this year.
Yeah, actually, we've got some pretty big plans for Curtis, especially with respect to his marriage. He's gonna, as you sort of saw, he wants to become a vigilante, and he wants to start fighting crime. At the same time, he's got this husband at home who is gonna probably start to notice that he's coming home with all these bruises and cuts, and it's gonna raise some questions. And we're really looking forward to watching Curtis try to get through.
Sorry, I didn't see John's face.
Underhanded picture, just a remark.
Willa, I'm curious, your character left also sort of the band. She was like, I'm done with this. And we sort of see a begrudging Thea in the trailer, sort of doesn't really want to be back in the costume. I mean, how do you describe her attitude towards this endeavor when we come back?
Well, I think that Thea's definitely gone through a lot in the last, obviously, 4 seasons totaling, but in the last season, she went through everything from being drugged by her father again, mixed up in art, her basically pseudo-sister, putting on a role cool costume, but then also being struck by this bloodlusty thing and then killing people all the time, and then stopping doing that, and then holding a knife to a little girl's throat and realizing that it's not the bloodlust doing that to her, it's actually just her. So I think she just needs to take a step back for a second, realize what's going on in her own psyche and maybe something that's like structurally good for her and maybe Star City, which is probably helping out Ollie since he's mayor.
I feel like if you had given Oliver that pitch, as opposed to just being like, I'm gonna leave, he would have totally gotten it.
Yeah. Have you been paying attention to what's going on? But no, I think this year she's gonna be doing a lot of stuff, helping out Oliver like she has done in the last season, but in a different way, since now he's not necessarily a mayor moonlighting as a vigilante, as you guys so nicely wrote. He is a vigilante moonlighting as the mayor at the moment. So someone's going to need to do some duties.
See, let's talk about that. I mean, you know, Your Honor, or whatever your formal title is, as
You can-
Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Mayor, Mr. Chair.
What do you think about Oliver in this capacity?
What a garbage mayor he is. He's terrible. He's terrible because he is alone. There's no team. So all of his focus and all of his energy is going into being the Green Arrow, being a vigilante, trying to stop crime within the city, and Thea is carrying all the water as mayor, basically. And so, you know, he ran for mayor and was kind of elected as mayor for excellent reasons, but those reasons have gotten lost in the shuffle a little bit. So hopefully he rediscovers them. Because I really like the idea. I know that, you know, longtime fans of Green Arrow know what a politically inspired character Oliver Queen is, and he had a point of view. He had an ideology, and I think all of those things would be very interesting to explore on the show. So he'll have to get his head out of his you know what and start working well with others, which probably will never happen. So, but I like the idea of him as a mayor. Very cool.
I mean, speaking of, you know, starting a team, John, it looks like Malcolm is going to have some new people that he's going to start working with. You're going to be sort of spread over all of the shows. What excites you about getting to bring Malcolm to all of those different worlds?
Well, the first thing is that, you know, always true to where he was born in that sense is the character, which is this show, but he's the bad guy that I always say is a troubled hero, a hero of his own story, and what'll be interesting is to see what he's like in these other, if I can say, time lines. The new different Malcolms, because who's to say where he may pop up, and I'm being very cautious about what I'm saying because I don't want to say anything I'm not supposed to, but if he is on Legends, what time might that be? Where in the story there he might be, if that makes any sense? Is it the past? Is it the future? Is it the present? He might behave differently. It might be an alternate side to him. So that's what I'm really excited about as an actor. I know, listen, I've time traveled before. I know what it's all about. I know how to follow the story and put it all together. Trust me. So, it sounds confusing, but I'm excited as an actor to be able to play those different things. And that to me is what's going to be exciting. But the fact is that, you know, this is the core of where, and it's funny to hear Stephen speak at like Oliver being the bad man. Malcolm's always a phone call away. It's true. He's always a phone call away. And good for my girl taking on the lead. Yeah.
I like that. I'm going to open it up to the audience questions in just a minute. So if you want to get ready. I solicited questions for this panel from Twitter. And
oh dear God.
And I know it's going to come as a huge surprise to everyone that the predominant question had something to do with a little thing called Olicity. First things first, congratulations, Stephen and Emily, on winning Ship of the Year for the second year in a row.
Thanks to all the fans online who worked really, really hard to make that happen.
9.6 million votes.
That's great. That's amazing. Mark, when we left the two of them, they were sort of together but not together. How do you describe the status of this relationship at the start of season 5?
It's still a partnership. I mean, the way we left them in the bunker at the end of the last season was somewhat ambiguous, and we will kick them off in a similarly ambiguous state. That said, you will find out some more around episode 5. And I think, you know, we're just going to let the characters kind of take us where they will.
Absolutely. I mean, Stephen, Oliver obviously kept some things from her last year. There was some basic mistakes, I don't know. I mean, what do you guys think about what should happen with the couple? What would you like to see? Do you like what you're getting to play right now, sort of the in-betweenness?
Very much so. We have a really dynamic scene in the premiere where we speak to each other as equals, as team members. I've always thought that Oliver's most important relationship in Arrow is his relationship to Star City and his love of that city. And that is the main objective at this time in his life. I think it's pretty clear that Oliver loves Felicity, but I don't know if that means they're going to be together. But I really like the scene that we had in the pilot. Emily and I high-fived after.
Yeah,
because we were fired up,
It's really transformed. We didn't know what was going there, and I feel like Felicity and Oliver's communication, collaboration aspects of themselves are just getting stronger as teammates, and that's a good thing.
And obviously, as we saw on Legends of Tomorrow, smoke technologies exist in 2046, so she's got some work to do. Awesome. But I'd love to turn it over to you guys, and so I think we have our first question.
Oh, a whole bunch of them, like from the first draft. All the time. But you want to hear one?
Does one come to mind, Mark?
I'm actually trying to think of one that we definitely wouldn't do.
We kicked around the idea of Malcolm being my dad, right?
That was an early conversation, and then we realized that was a little too Darth Vader. It was a little too. Actually, it was your husband.
It was over lunch with Andrew at Kreisberg that Scott was eating a Caesar salad, and Andrew said you guys were discussing that and said it to me, and I went, ugh, and Scott went, no, too Darth. It's like what you're saying. It's Darth Vader. Why don't you make Willa your daughter, Thea?
Wait, it was Scott's
It was
idea?
Scott's idea.
Oh my god, I didn't know it was Scott.
Thank you, Scott.
Totally. So thank you, Scott.
Yeah, I mean, aside from the fact that you would have had to have had me when you were 10.
I love you even more. Thank you very much. I've done the math, and I could have had you at an early age. Thank you.
Marvel characters is Apocalypse, and he's a bad guy. But I just love all his powers. He can grow and morph and transform. I'm definitely Apocalypse.
I'm so comic book illiterate. It's embarrassing. I'm on this DC show, and I don't even know which one's DC and which one's Marvel. People talk about Easter eggs and stuff. I'm like, what do you mean, like an Easter egg? I'm like, Easter eggs. I really get it. I million years answer that question, but I'm sure Emily could.
I'll take it. I'll be Wolverine. It'll be great.
You took the word right out of my mouth.
I was going to say Wolverine.
I was cheering you too.
I was literally going to say Wolverine because it's an awesome character. Sorry, Agent Carter.
No one's interested in sucking up to me at all in this cast.
I guess because Emily took Wolverine and I'd be Storm because her hair was pretty good.
I used to love Cat named Moon Knight. But it's really a cross between Moon Knight and Jean Grey during the Dark Phoenix saga.
That was the opposite of Paul's answer.
That was pretty annoying. You could have had Moon Knight. I could give you Moon Knight. That was impressive. I was impressed.
Yeah, Moon Knight was awesome.
Teach me some of this afterwards.
Hello, thank you so much. Hi.
Hi, I am Viraj and I'm from San Jose, California. And I'm really excited to see you guys today, especially Emily. So, one question is, what special skills did you guys have to learn for your role? I know Stephen probably. I'm just.
Then what I have to learn, I mean, obviously, you came out of the womb knowing the sound class. Anyone else? I mean, are there skills they need to figure out?
Archery?
Yeah,
I think Stephen and I and John have all had to pick up a bow a few times and know how to hold it properly.
Yeah.
I think we've all had to have our moments of fight training and working with, on-screen combat and understanding how that best works. I know that Echo has been getting a good education in that this year. And
Walking in heels, yeah.
walking in heels, which I did yesterday. Oliver doesn't walk in heels on the show.
No, but Stephen Amell does. We love him for that even more.
That's what he does for his free time in the mayor office.
Yeah, I think also some of us we've had to work with. I know Will and I have done stuff with it. The others have done stuff with the swords, and one of the things, and I'm going to get it wrong, but please help me. The Japanese outfit, the katana. For me, that was very difficult to learn how to do stuff in because you're not supposed. It's told to you that you're supposed to move in it like you're on wheels, so it doesn't go up and down. And I'm from the dance world where tap dancing is up and down. So they used to keep just coming up to me going, "Stop bouncing, keep it level," and that was difficult. So
Yeah. Malcolm would always throw punches and then John would put a little flourish. And James Van, who's directing our first and second episodes, would be like, John's got it. Just hit him. Close your fist. Close your fist. Make sure to breathe. Make sure to breathe. This is not a chorus line. Stop it. Thanks, man.
Hi, my name is
I'm gonna say I'd like to be Diggle before everyone else says they'd like to be Diggle.
I'd be Malcolm.
I'd be Oliver.
I'd be Malcolm. I'd go for Malcolm.
Really?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Since everyone else is wearing pumps, I wouldn't mind being Felicity Smalls.
I mean, that's what I was gonna say, but then I realized right before I said that that would also include somewhat of an incestual relationship with my brother, and then I had to take that back. But yeah, obviously I would want to be Emily, but like Emily.
The person.
Felicity, I like the ponytails, I get headaches, so I can do that one.
Girl, I was on your head for you. I was on your head for you. Cute.
What about you, Echo? Yeah, Diggle. Yeah, Diggle, easy one.
That's racist.
How awesome! She's from Argentina. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's a racist question.
Hi, I'm Liz. I'm from Tijuana, Mexico. And I wanted to know, who was your favorite superhero growing up, and would you play that character nowadays?
I am Batman.
Sailor Moon.
Sailor.
Ash Ketchum, right?
Yeah, Ash Ketchum, yeah. Let's go. By the way, download Pokemon Go, it's so much fun. It's good, it's good, yeah.
John McClane. By the way, I don't think that movie should be rebooted unless they want to reboot it and let me play it.
By the way, none of these people we've said are superheroes.
How dare you? His story, Echo. Spawned 5 movies, 3 of which were really good.
It's an easy answer for me as a kid when I came from best playing in the basement with the Mego action figures, Captain America, definitely.
Bruce Banner. I'm home for Bruce Banner.
Would you be Mark Ruffalo?
I think Mark Ruffalo was the best Banner I saw.
Sorry,
Thank you so much.
Hi, my name
When he did this quote, it was like, if Felicity's the software, Curtis is the hardware, and I was like the hardware dude at Geek Squad. So I really feel like I connect with Curtis on a lot of those tech levels.
Should we go down the line?
Yeah.
Right. Okay, my turn. Gosh, I had not too much in it, to be honest. It's a nightmare being Quentin Lance. Horses dying, falling your eyes out, it's drinking, it's terrible. So I say that with, it's wonderful being Quentin Lance. I say that as well. It's just, shall I just stop talking? He's got some dark sides, hasn't he? Maybe I've got some dark sides too, but let's not talk about that. What about you?
I always try to work in like Felicity talks to herself, but I think that's just because she's always just like, and then, so yeah, that's the main character is there.
I'm stubborn and I'm prideful and I hold grudges and I'm not a murderer. But I'm a little bit more like Oliver than maybe I'm prepared to admit.
I think John Diggle's sense of family, I think we both share that. Not nearly as good as he is, but his sense of love for his family, his child, and wants to make the world a better place for his child. I think that we both share that.
Back in the day, she used to go there a lot, so I feel like I had a lot in common, but eating burgers, especially a Big Belly burger or whatever, is my number one thing with me. I love burgers. That's all I got, guys.
I'm not mean, I'm not manipulative, but I am like Malcolm in the way that I am loyal and I'm committed, and that's probably the only route. I don't have a...
You also usually refer to yourself as the hero of your own story. Actually, for the first time, you said, "Hi, Stephen, my name is John Barrowman, I am the hero of my own story."
Good question, thank you.
Thank you. I believe this will be our last question.
Hi, I was just wondering if we're gonna see any Bruce Wayne soon on Arrow.
I love that. Bruce Wayne.
No. If it's a show called Gotham, you're probably going to like a lot. I recommend it to you.
But I would say, and I think that you would agree with this, that you would never say never.
Oh, I would never say never.
Like, anytime that I say never, I usually end up doing what I say I'm never going to do almost immediately.
Well, in that case, I want to say that Bruce will never be on Arrow because I want Bruce to be on Arrow.
I'm from Sunnyvale, California, and I recently saw a video, this is you, Stephen, of you and John singing Do You Want to Build a Snowman online, and I'm a singer myself, and I was wondering if you would ever share your singing talents with us on the show.
Oh, on the show?
Yeah.
You say the price of my love is not a price that you're willing to pay. Go ahead. What is it? You cry
In your tea, which you hurled in the sea when you see me go by. Oh, I so sad, we made an arrangement when you
now you're making
me mad. Despite our estrangement, I'm your man. You will be back. Soon you'll see. You'll remember you belong to me. You'll be back. Time will tell. You remember that I served you well. Oceans rise, empires fall. We have been each other through it all. But when push comes to shove, I will send a fully armed battalion to remind you of my love. La da 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 da
Two, three. Happy birthday.